Now, a lot of people are suddenly accusing the Devil May Cry show on Netflix on being anti-Christian. And I'm going to explore if there's any reason to believe that, because it seems that the writer of the show says that this is a bad faith take. Like, why are you saying it's anti-Christian? It's fiction, right? It's a fictional story with a fictional version of America, with a fictional character that happens to be Christian. And so, like, why are people looking into fiction this way? And this used to be the correct way of thinking before 2015, right? Like, if you were to see a show where, like, one character was evil and they happened to be of a particular ideology, like, people wouldn't really look into that. People would look at a show like, I mean, yeah, this is a show about demons and shit. You know, it's about entertainment. It's about seeing the gunshots and being over the top. This is how people would think back then. But then the progressives came along, and they would look at a show where, let's say, you have a Muslim that commits a terrorist attack, blows himself up, right? It's a fictional setting, just a character that happens to be Muslim, commits a terrorist attack, and all of a sudden the critics that would be progressives would be like, so what you're saying, so what you're saying is, like, are you saying that all? Are you saying that hashtag all? Like, entertainment doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? Like, you know, you got a video game where you play Mario and he has to rescue the princess, and the progressives come along and say, so what you're saying is, like, what you're saying is that women need rescue? Is this what you're saying? Like, so what you're saying is entertainment doesn't exist in a vacuum? And, you know, the reality is that, okay, but criticism doesn't exist in a vacuum either. Like, if this is the new criticism, that we need to hyper-analyze every single theme, every single thing that's meant into entertainment, and we don't look at as like it's if it's entertaining or not. Instead, we're looking like, oh, so what were you saying? What were you saying? Well, then people are going to arrive to various conclusions, right? And so, like, this is the new mindset. This is what, like, progressiveness has brought to the art. Okay? Like, now, art isn't just like you're allowed to create anything you want. Like, no, there are standards, there are rules, there's a bureaucracy. Whenever you portray a character, like, people are going to see, well, what were you saying about it? And so if we look at a show where the only character that's a Christian seems to be a corrupt politician that's a warmonger, well, what do you think people are going to think that you're saying? Well, they're going to think that you believe Christianity is bad. To be fair, I think they're right. I think, like, this is a cornerstone of progressive writing. Like, I haven't seen Christianity being depicted in a positive way in entertainment on Netflix in any single thing that came out after 2010, right? Like you have Judaism being portrayed accurately, you got Islam being portrayed with respect. Please tell me a show, just any, you know, when you have like a positive Christian character, just any, just think of any that came out after 2016, is on Netflix, and you have a character that's a positive character and is a Christian. I'm not saying there isn't, like, maybe somewhere out there it is, but I personally can't think of any. Now let's do the opposite. Like, let's try a negative character that's a Muslim. Again, you know, when J.K. Rowling is releasing Harry Potter, and you have the goblins that are bankers and they have long noses, like, oh, so what you're saying, what you're saying is like, so what you're saying. Right? Like criticism doesn't exist in a vacuum. You created the mentality of an entire generation with this ideology where like, they are going to hyper-analyze fiction to the point where they're going to find something wrong with it. And again, in this situation, yeah, I think that you actually don't like Christianity. You know? Now, it's fine if you don't like it, but fucking own it. You know, just fucking own it. Just say, yeah, I don't like it. But the reality is, like this is what people didn't expect. I think that people who are into social justice, they expected that they will bring the tools to deconstruct, and they are going to be the owners of it, right? Like, they brought the tools in to deconstruct art and to create a level of bureaucracy around creating art, and they thought that they will always have those tools. And if they will ever not be in power, if in the future they will relinquish power, then the ones that will replace them, but they will take the tools with them, right? Like, the progressive will just shrink away, and take their tools with them. No, the reality is they got kicked out of power, the tools are there, and people just change, like they're still using the compass, but they changed the North Star, right? And so now that they're using the same progressive analysis, where they're looking into like what exactly does this mean, they're hyper-analyzing entertainment, but they're analyzing it from their point of view. And so, if before 2016 you could have like literally anything you want, like for instance Postal 2, right? Like Postal 2 makes fun of Christianity and Islam and feminism and environmentalism, like it makes fun of everything. Same like South Park. No one will complain, right? Like no one freaks out if South Park makes fun of Jesus. But that's before 2016. Now people, the same way that Muslims complain about Muhammad, I do think that maybe in a couple of years, if South Park does have like a very negative portrayal of Jesus, like people will complain. Like there will be people on forums and social media that are going to complain over that type of depiction. Because criticism doesn't exist in a vacuum. Like this type of criticism has been normalized to the point where, if the left applies it to the right, now the right applies it to the left. I don't know if things are going to be back to the way things were in 2016. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But probably it will, because Asia is going to dominate the market, right? Like Asia doesn't give a fuck. Like they just depict whatever they want in order to create interesting stories, and they don't care about the bureaucracy, they don't care about the morality. Like they have their own standards, they have their own rules, but when it's being shipped into the West, when things are coming here into the West, they're completely different. And by the way, the Asian aesthetics as well, like I'm looking at Netflix, this video, like again, the female character looks like a man with wig. This is why anime is so successful, because I genuinely think that the left and the right have completely given up on aesthetics. And when I say left and right, I mean about, people that produce entertainment in the West right now. There aren't that many right-wingers, but like even they shy away from the aesthetics. They simply like shy away from beauty, basically, and the Asians embrace that. So what happens now is that there's a drought on the market, and when someone releases a game that has a ushi girl with big tits, it sells. And the reason it sells is because, well, there isn't any in the West. And when there will be more in the West, people will just stop buying it and they will buy something else. But yeah, and also, like there's an interesting part of the lore that in Devil May Cry, like every single person that's a Christian or religious in the game is also a good, kind-hearted person, like they're fighting against evil. While this show, first of all, it tries to portray demons as being good. And the second problem is that the Christians also happen to be evil. And like, I'm sorry, no, but this is subversive. Like even without the progressive tool set, if I was to hypothesize like the mentality, right, like the ideology of the writer, it's not like, in Mario where you need to make a huge stretch in order to show that, well, the developers were misogynistic because like Mario is rescuing the princess, right? Like that's a huge stretch. Or if you try to accuse a writer that makes a movie where a Muslim commits a terrorist attack, right? And you're trying to say that the writer is Islamophobic, like that's also a huge stretch. Like maybe he just had an interesting story that requires that to happen, right? Or if you try to say that J.K. Rowling is anti-Semitic because of the goblins, right? Like that's also a huge stretch. But when you're making demons actually, no, wait, like they're complex creatures and they may be the good guys, and the only bad person is the Christian politician that's actually corrupt and warmonger, and he also has the American flag. No, like I genuinely think that you're part of the ideology that believes in systemic racism and that the United States is actually evil, the cisgender heteronormative patriarchy. Like I think you believe in all that bullshit, right? Like, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I would be like to be corrected. But usually if stereotyping is wrong, why am I always so right? Anyway, right, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.